Welcome to Podcast by TechNation. This is a series of podcasts focused specifically on the biomedical and HTM industry. Episodes are added monthly. Listening to each episode is eligible for one continuing education credit from the ACI. At the conclusion of this episode, you'll be able to access a link that will take you to a quick survey. You'll be able to download your certificate once you submit the survey. Podcast by TechNation would like to thank our sponsor, Multi-Medical Systems. When you're in the business of protecting the health of patients, you don't have time for malfunctioning medical equipment. You need a reliable partner that can provide expert repair to ensure you have patient-ready equipment that meets or exceeds OEM guidelines and regulatory requirements. For more information, please visit multimedicalsystems.com. In this episode, we are joined by Kristin Leavoy, Vice President of MD Publishing, and moderator Cheryl Sandrini of Multi-Medical Systems. Cheryl, you may begin whenever you are ready.
Hi, welcome to HTM Insider. Glad you came back to tune in. Today, we're going to be talking about MD Expo, and we have a guest on from TechNation who's very involved with MD Expo, my friend Kristin. Kristin, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Kristin Leavoy, and I'm with TechNation, MD Expo, MD Publishing, however you know us as. But I've been with the company for quite a while. Many years, and actually since the beginning of MD Expo when we founded it in 2002. So I'm excited to share a little bit of the history and how to get involved with our conferences with you today.
You brought up something really great there, Kristin, is what is the difference between MD Expo, MD Publishing, TechNation, and MedWrench? Let's just throw them all together.
Throw them all together. That's a good question. So MD Publishing is the parent company of the magazines that you may know: TechNation, Imaging Community Exchange, which is our ICE magazine, and also OR Today, which a few people know. It's for perioperative and registered nurses. How MedWrench fits into that is we are co-owners in MedWrench with a company in Canada called LabX Media Group. Some of you may know LabX if you're at all involved in the lab world. But about 12 years ago, MD Publishing and LabX joined together to create MedWrench. And it's basically a resource for those in the HTM world to help answer the questions they have on a day-to-day basis.
So you go by different names, but you're all one group, right?
We are one big happy family. And TechNation, if you've noticed ever with MD Expo, we put on our tagline, powered by TechNation. TechNation wasn't actually around when MD Expo first had its inaugural event back in 2002. But since its creation in 2010, it has really become the print counterpart to what MD Expo brings to a live event, because that was really the basis behind beginning MD Expo years ago. It was to bring together the advertisers of our magazines with the readers. And so that's how TechNation is tied into MD Expo.
That's a great explanation. I'm glad to even hear it myself, because I was like, I know they're all kind of similar, but how do they all go together? So we got MD Expo coming up in April. You want to talk about the dates and what's going to happen there in Atlanta?
Absolutely. We're so excited about this event. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary. And what's even more special about that is we're bringing it home to Georgia, which is where it all began 20 years ago. For years, from about 2003 until 2007, we held the MD Expo in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I know a lot of the folks from way back in the beginning remember Stone Mountain, Georgia fondly. Unfortunately, we've outgrown the venue there, so we won't be able to be hosting this year's event there, but we have a great property, the Atlanta Marriott, also known as the Waverly. It's right across from Truist Park, which is the home of the Atlanta Braves, happened to be the World Series winners last year. So we're excited to be here in Atlanta. The dates of the conference are April 11th through the 13th. We have been approved for CE credit through ACI. So any of you joining and participating in the education will receive continuing education for that. We have a sold out exhibit hall, including only a few tables remaining in our foyer. So you're going to have an incredible opportunity to meet some vendors that can offer some solutions to the day-to-day issues that you have, whether it's meeting a tight budget or solving a problem with a particular PM. Really, their resources are limitless on what they'll be able to provide. And then, of course, what MD Expo is most known for, which is our networking opportunities.
Well, MMS will be there like always. I'm going. I'm pretty excited myself. You have a lot of family in the greater Atlanta area. Mm-hmm. So I visit there often. So it's kind of nice. I get to visit some family while I'm in town.
Excellent.
Let's talk about the new biomeds, right? Because that's what we're trying to reach and who could really benefit from the educational platform. So if I'm a new biomed, how do I register? How much does it cost? Where do I go to find the information?
Absolutely. Everything can be found on our website, which is mdexposhow.com. So if you're new to the field, there's so many opportunities at MD Expo that would really enhance your knowledge about the industry. We have a host of educational sessions. They usually cover topics such as cybersecurity, preventive maintenance, credentialing and certification, compliance, these just to name a few. But some of the sessions that I think would be particularly relevant to anyone who is new to the industry, we have one particular session called Filling Vacancies and the Importance of Job Titles. This is by Michael Huser. He's with Middlesex Health. He's going to be talking a little bit about if you're coming into the role, how and what titles for your positions that you're applying for that are relevant. We also have a great presentation that's going to be presented by Dave Scott and Brian Wilson. It's called Career Path Guide. And what it really is about the tips and tricks that these seasoned professionals have learned over the years. And basically, if they had known 25 years ago these tips and tricks, what they would go back and tell themselves to make the path a little bit smoother. We also have let me see, I'm looking here. I know there was another one. David Brodigan, he's a very well-known name in the industry. He's going to be speaking about the future of healthcare and HTM. What are we going to do when the baby boomers start to retire? How are we going to fill all these vacancies that are going to result in those retirements? And then, I mean, gosh, there's just so many things that are going to be key to your arsenal. Yes. So, and we also, one of the best things we have for new folks to the industry is our YP group. This is our young professionals at MD Expo. Oftentimes they hold some sort of networking event during the course of the expo. You can follow their newsletter and updates online. Just look for YP at MD Expo. And then, of course, just being able to talk and connect with all of the folks that have been in the industry so long and their wealth of knowledge.
Now, what does it cost for anybody?
So the key thing, what does it cost? So when you go to mdexposhow.com, you'll see in the upper right-hand corner, there's a register button. And when you click on the register button, there's going to be three options that pop up. The first one is if you're a hospital employee. So if you're employed with a hospital, a healthcare facility, or you're an active military or student, it costs nothing, $0 to attend MD Expo. We even have the VIP code right there on the website that you can enter. When you go into the form and fill out your contact information and you apply that VIP code, you'll see that the total is $0. We do this because we want MD Expo to be accessible for all. And with the support of our vendors and our sponsors, we're able to do this. And we have done this for, I think, going on 10 or 12 years now. We realize that a lot of folks have to pay out of their own pocket to either fly, gas to travel to the event, maybe if they're spending the night for the hotel. We want to minimize those costs to them by providing the conference for free.
And it's another good thing, if you're coming on a budget, which I understand a lot of people are because they are paying for it themselves, is that MD Expo always offers food and some beverages.
We do. So when the event kicks off, it'll start Tuesday morning, Tuesday the 12th for the most part, when the education. We'll have a kickoff event that will have food, sort of a lunch. That first afternoon, the exhibit hall welcome reception will have, for the most part, an open bar and food in it. If you want to make it dinner, you potentially could. We'll have breakfast on Wednesday morning. We'll have lunch in the exhibit hall Wednesday night. And then Wednesday evening for our finale party, I'm really excited about this. We're going to be having an event over at the Battery, which is the social element of Truist Park, where the Braves play. There's a great venue there called Park Bench, and it's Dueling pianos. So we're going to have our finale event at Park Bench, and there will be an open bar and food at this event as well.
That sounds fun. I'm excited about Dueling pianos. That's good. That's always a good time.
Yes, for those that remember back in the Stone Mountain age, we would bring Dueling pianos to their outdoor pavilion, which was a feat in and of itself. But it was always a great time had by all.
That's awesome. Now let's shift to supervisors and managers. I know that a lot of managers attend. So if you're even a biomed out there, there's job opportunities that you can find, whether it be with somebody like ourselves at Multi Medical Systems or numerous managers across the nation that attend that are always hiring.
Absolutely. I mean, you'll see with the vendors that you visit, a lot of them may mention that they are hiring, and then there are resources specific to those looking for jobs. One of which is our own product, which is HTM Jobs. Their website, htmjobs.com. You can go to and you'll see, I mean, currently there are hundreds of positions all across the country that are open, and we have the specialists that can help pair you with the right job for your skill set. So you're not alone in that search. Just going to the website, registering, that'll put you in contact with one of our recruitment specialists. They will work to talk to you about what you're looking for, what part of the country you're looking for, what specialty, and pair you up with the organization that has the job to fit your needs.
That's an awesome resource. Mm-hmm. Now, this came up last week. I had someone who wanted to attend, sent them to the website, and the hotel block is sold out. You don't have to stay at the hotel. If there's no rooms available, you can stay anywhere you want to stay. There's no regulate. They thought they had to stay there.
No. And honestly, it does happen. We put on the website that there is a cutoff deadline, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee that rooms are available up until that date. Fortunately for the situation you encountered, we were able to add rooms to our room block. So there are rooms available now, but I can't say how long they'll last. That's one thing that we do try to make available to attendees is we're very conscious about what the cost of our hotel is. Again, knowing that a lot of folks are coming out of their own pocket, we want to make it affordable. But even if the price point for the rooms is still too high, or if there are no longer rooms available, reach out to any of our staff and we'll be happy to refer you to hotels in the area. The parking at this particular hotel is, I think, $5 a day. So even if you're staying somewhere else, it's not a problem. You can come and park at the Waverly, and there will be minimal cost.
Do you think planning out your schedule is a great idea? Or do you say just go wing it?
Well, the good thing is you have the flexibility for both. So when you register for the conference, you check off which classes you plan to attend. we will send you a welcome kit that has a letter and some things to note about the conference. And then it's also included your personal schedule. So the classes that you checked off when you registered. The nice thing is, though, that you're not obligated to stick to that schedule. If you get on site and you realize that, oh my gosh, I didn't know Stephen Kelly from Piedmont Medical was going to be presenting. I'm local. I want to go hear his session. You have the flexibility to do that, and you don't even have to let us know. We take the pre-registrations just as a general count, so we know how large to set the classrooms for, but you're not at all obligated to stick with the classes that you registered for initially.
One of my highlights of attending is always the keynote.
Yes. Yes, and we've kind of changed directions over the past year with what types of keynotes we offer. For many years, it was Joint Commission or DNV talking about the regulatory updates and how to prepare for an inspection. And that was all very relevant information that people needed to know, but it didn't necessarily have you walking out of the class going, gosh, I feel motivated to learn more. So the past couple of conferences, we've done some really unique and different keynotes. In Dallas last spring, we had two authors of the book, Positively Outrageous Service, talking about whether you're an owner of a company or a technician in a hospital, you are serving customers and how you can provide great service to those customers day in and day out. And then this past conference in Las Vegas, we had Sammy Davis, who many don't know the name except for the Rat Pack, but this was not that Sammy Davis. We had Sammy Davis, the character for which the war scenes in Forrest Gump were based after. The Vietnam scenes from Forrest Gump. Sammy Davis was the Medal Purple Heart winner, recipient, I should say, who saved so many lives during that particular episode in Vietnam. But coming up this year, we have a great speaker. His name's Brian Parsley. He's with the Constant Group. And he's just going to be speaking about how to have meaningful relationships. And when you're interacting personally and professionally, how to take the communication aspects of that conversation and really go a little bit deeper. We've had him speak for us in other conferences and aspects of MD publishing, but never at an MD Expo before. He's got a great story to tell. In fact, he's got a YouTube video I'm sure he's going to share, which was about his very first solo flight as a pilot and what happened with that flight. But again, our goal for these keynotes is, and the reason we offer them on the front end of the conference, is we want attendees to be able to come to that and really feel energized and excited about the rest of the conference. Want them to walk away with a wow feeling and motivated to learn more.
I agree. I mean, the past couple have just been great. I really enjoyed them.
Excellent.
So you guys schedule your conferences like twice a year, right? And so where are you going to be if Atlanta's too far? Where people look forward to maybe a different conference?
Sure. So our next conference will be in October. We always hold a spring and a fall MD Expo. They typically are in April and October. The October conference will be October 11th through the 13th in Southern California, specifically Temecula. Those from that area may recognize the name Pechanga, which is an Indian resort casino just not too far from Temecula. One of the reasons we chose this venue is because the nice thing about casinos is they don't need to get their revenue from room rates. So we have an incredibly affordable room rate for the fall conference. It's a spectacular facility. They've got 6 or 7 different restaurants on property, a beautiful golf course, spas, you name it. It's all right there in one location. And even though Northern California and wine country is known for being the best of the best, There is a hidden gem in Southern California, specifically the Temecula area, about their wine country. We had when we were out there doing a site visit, had the pleasure of going to a couple of the wineries and scouting them out for venues, and was just blown away by the hospitality and the appreciation of the properties there.
Yeah, Temecula is a beautiful area. Living in California, just north of San Diego. It's an easy drive from San Diego or Ontario, so very familiar with the area. So I'm excited there's one close to home.
Good.
Yeah. So overall, what do you think that if somebody's thinking right now, they're on the fence, like, should I go or should I not go? What would be something you would say you've got to be there because of?
Well, I'd say the networking. If there's anything that the past 2 years have taught us, what you can do over the computer is not the same as what you do in person. There's so many spur of the moment conversations that pop up for attendees and vendors alike, whether it's waiting for the elevator together or going down to get their morning coffee. Exchanging between classes in the exhibit hall, you bump into people and it sparks a conversation. In the world of Zoom, there's nothing sparked. Everybody plans to be there and that's how they show up. But there's just the authenticity of those conversations and relationships that take place at the event. And I think, particularly for our conference, it's so easy. Even if you're an introvert, it's easy to meet people and talk to people because we kind of force you together. That's part of the reason that we hold our conferences in hotels instead of convention centers. We want everybody under one roof for the duration of the conference. We want all of those opportunities to exist. Whereas if you're just coming to a large convention center for that day's meetings or exhibit hall hours, you're in and you're out, and you kind of check out as soon as you leave the building. But what's nice about the MD Expo is from the time you step foot on site at the conference to the time you leave, you really are open to any spontaneous conversation or introduction that may occur.
And there's invitations to lunches and dinners.
Yes.
And I got to tell you a couple of things. I would say wear comfortable shoes.
Yes.
Right? Business casual, and be prepared with something to give your name and your contact information with, right? Biomeds don't typically have business cards. So I would say that would be some key points of me just attending to say, again, comfortable shoes.
Yep.
And a way to put your name out there, whether you just cut up little pieces of paper you print out off your computer or address labels.
Yeah, we've actually thought about doing that in the past for attendees, but the numbers grew and the information changed so quickly that it wasn't really ideal for us. But I have seen attendees do that, and I think it's a great idea. I think they just went out and, whatever it was, 10 or 12 on a page with their name and their email address and their phone number, and they cut them up and they handed them out. That's a great way to exchange information so that you're not having to write everything down from booth to booth. A couple of other resources that I wanted to tell you about that are on our website. If you're looking to get permission, I guess, from your leadership, we do have an attendee toolkit online. It's under our resources tab. And this has a letter that you can send to your manager as to why they should approve you to attend the MD Expo. We also have a template for how to estimate any expenses that may occur, and also networking and opportunities that you're going to walk away with from going to the MD Expo. We also have our social media toolkit. This is great to let the world know that you're going to be out there, whether you're a vendor or an attendee. We provide social media graphics that you can share, of course, on your social platforms, email signatures, you name it. And if you ever want anything customized, we're happy to do that as well.
That's awesome. So would like to close this up today and give you an opportunity, because you've been doing this a long time. I don't know how long you've been with TechNation since it started.
Well, MD Publishing, 20 years.
Yeah, wow. So you've seen quite a few things in this industry. So we'd like to learn from you now. So if you could leave our listeners and our viewers with just a few words of wisdom, we call them our wow words. What would you like to share with everybody?
I think, and I sort of touched on it briefly, it's networking. And it's just opening yourself up to the opportunity to hear from other people and learn from other people. Obviously, going to the conference, you intend to learn from the educational sessions, but just keeping your ears open and listening to what those around you have to say, it's invaluable, I think, whether it's somebody who's brand new to the industry or someone who's a seasoned professional. There's always an opportunity to grow and learn. I think it's so much easier to do at a conference than it is to do researching online or studying for an exam or reading a book or even a magazine, because somebody's sharing with you their personal experiences and what worked for them. And I think that can go so far in helping folks understand more about this industry, but also how to grow within it.
Yeah, 100%. I really like that. Opening yourself up to listening and learning.
That's it.
So if you need more information regarding, MD Expo, TechNation, you can reach out to Kristin. We'll make all your contact available. If you just search TechNation, you're going to find it. You can always reach out to me, Sherelle, your host at Multi Medical Systems. And we look forward to seeing you in Atlanta, my friend.
Yes, can't wait to see everybody's smiling faces.
All right. We'll see you again. Make sure you follow HTM Insider where you listen to your favorite podcast, or just check it out online with TechNation and earn CEU credits for every time you listen. So thanks again, Kristin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kristin and Cheryl, for a great presentation. If you enjoyed today's episode, you might enjoy our ongoing series, Webinar Wednesday. You can find a calendar of upcoming live webinars as well as an archive of on-demand webinars at WebinarWednesday.live. To obtain your CE certificate, please remember to click the link located below this podcast title to complete today's survey. If you have any questions, you can reach us at webinar@mdpublishing.com.